nation's power.
The only person who actually apparently has done business with the Russians is Hillary. And I think she's going to be in for quite an extensive investigation, and she doesn't have Jim Comey to fix the case for her this time.
There are going to be indictments. There's going to be grand juries. John Brennan isn't going to need one lawyer. He's going to need 5.
And I frankly trust Bill Barr, and he knows both the intelligence community and the Justice Department well enough to understand what is going to be necessary to find out where the truth is.
I want you to listen very closely to what Joe DeGenova says next.
There's another report that everybody has forgotten about involving James Comey alone. That will be out in 2 weeks. That report is going to be a bombshell. It's going to open up the investigation on a very high note, and there will be criminal referrals in it. The FISA court abuse is the center of this entire abuse of governmental power. And the chief judge of that court has already ruled that the FBI broke the law and that the people at the head of the Justice Department, Sally Yates, John Carlin, the Assistant Attorney General for the National Security, all knew about it and lied to the court, the FISA court, about it.
I'm aware that some of our family members are understandably very pessimistic. I read your comments. You say things like, BCP, thanks for this latest segment of yours revealing yet more deep state shenanigans, treachery, treason, and corruption at the highest parts of our government. But nothing's ever going to happen. No one is going to pay the price. No one's going to go to jail. Well, my fellow patriots, those who think that, I understand your pessimism. But let me tell you, and let me show you, that very soon you'll no longer be able to say that.
This is Mrs. BCP. Welcome to our Patriot family. Please like, share, subscribe, and press the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Have a blessed day.
This is a courtesy warning. If you have anything sharp or could possibly cause bodily harm, put it down right now. HRC warning in 3, 2, 1.
We have significant evidence that this administration did everything it could to undermine and interfere with the investigation. And we are going to walk away and pretend it didn't happen. Any other person who had engaged in those acts would certainly have been indicted, but because of the rule in the Justice Department that you can't indict a sitting president, the whole matter of obstruction was very directly sent to the Congress.
Sorry about that, my fellow patriots. I know that's very painful to hear. Not the content, but the creature uttering the nonsense that just spewed out of her pie hole yet again. Welcome to Patriot News. I am your host, BCP. Last night, bombshell, incredible show on the Laura Ingraham show on Fox News. The interesting thing is that Laura Ingraham, I don't know if she's afraid of the deep state. I don't know what's going on there, but she had great guests that broke down and revealed some very important things, yet she wasn't there to host her own show. It was Governor Huckabee who was in the seat asking excellent questions, drawing out excellent information from the myriad of guests, from Rudy Giuliani to Joe DeGenova and others. I want to get into what was revealed and what was said. If this is your first time here, please smash the like button if you like this video. If you like the content overall, go ahead and join our Patriot family. We are over 250,000 strong and growing. And why? Because around here it does not matter your ethnicity. It doesn't matter which of the two genders you are. It doesn't matter the shade or the complexion of your skin. It doesn't. Nothing matters. All that matters is that you bleed red, white, and blue, that you're cheering for America, that you support our duly elected and beloved President Donald John Trump, and that you're looking forward to the day that justice is served against the deep state traitors that have been plaguing our great republic for far too long. If that sounds like you, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the family. Big virtual hug from the BCP Family Studios here in Southern California. So let's get right into what was revealed last night.
So what do the president's lawyers think of Hillary Clinton's latest comments? Here now is Rudy Giuliani. Mr. Mayor, let's get your response to what Madam Clinton has had to say.
Oh, it's the most incredible act of hypocrisy I've ever seen. I mean, the woman basically voted to give 20% of our plutonium to Russia. Her crooked foundation got $150 million. $150 million. Her husband got a $2.5 million speaking fee. I don't know, it kind of looks like bribery, it smells like bribery, it sounds like bribery. I'm not saying it is, but it comes awful close. Plus, if anybody was guilty of obstruction of justice, it's her. I mean, she did away with 33,000 emails. She destroyed phones. She had a guy doing it with hammers. And she bleach bid her server.
That even Jim Comey went on television to basically say, yeah, this was stuff she shouldn't have done, but her intent wasn't there. But basically, he outlined a criminal case for her. And then for her to come and do it, I mean, that takes some real audacity, don't you think?
Of course it takes real audacity. That's the kind of hubris that the deep state has had for decades or more, because they get away with everything. But that's about to change. Now, the reason why I showed you that little exchange is because we all know this, right? This should be a review of the corruption of Clinton and the cover-up by Comey. But I'm going to show you that the fall of Comey is very imminent, and that's going to begin the domino effect that's going to lead to the arrest, the indictment, the charges, the perp walk, and worse, of Hillary Clinton and all her ilk.
Her campaign played a role in promulgating that hoax. They paid $1.1 million for the phony Steele dossier. The only person who actually apparently has done business with the Russians is Hillary. And I think she's going to be in for quite an extensive investigation, and she doesn't have Jim Comey to fix the case for her this time.
Come on, folks. Rudy Giuliani is not just the ex-mayor of New York City. He is a Trump insider. He's one of his personal attorneys. If you think him talking about this upcoming Hillary Clinton investigation is just him making things up, then you really need to pay attention. That's not how this game is played. He is doing a soft disclosure to we, the people, to we, Johnny Q public, that the investigation of Hillary Clinton and her crimes is not going to be swept under the rug any longer.
81 subpoenas before the report was even filed?
Now, check this out. They have the goods on people like Nadler and other deep state Democrats who have been pushing forward the impeachment, these investigations, these needless harassment tactics by the Democrats. Listen to Giuliani. Team Trump has it all. They know what their enemies are doing.
I mean, they decided this before they read the report. Jerry Nadler was overheard on the train coming down from New York to Washington, plotting an impeachment. And a week ago, one of his aides was heard doing the same thing. So they can go try to fool somebody else, but not Donald Trump.
The Trump world is now ramping up a campaign to turn the collusion tables and targeting undercover Democrats who were involved.
Yeah, Deep State, I hope you caught that as well. They're listening to your conversations. That is the double-edged sword that is spying. Hey, that was the title of my video on Monday about how the tables were turning. Great minds.
This was the work of John Brennan.
Oh, and you're wondering why John Brennan has been off the rails lately? Oh yeah, best believe we're going to get into that as well.
Well, there's no doubt this is pretty simple stuff for career prosecutors like Rudy and myself. It has been evident from day one that there was a brazen plot to exonerate Hillary Clinton illegally, and then if she lost the election, to frame Donald Trump.
Here's proof that James Comey was part of the exonerating Hillary Clinton way before the investigation had concluded. I'm going to play a clip from Comey, and then I'm going to play a clip from Inspector General Horowitz contradicting him.
Did you make the decision not to recommend criminal charges relating to classified information before or after Hillary Clinton was interviewed by the FBI on July the 2nd?
After. And sometime in the spring of 2016, he had already decided that there would be no recommendation to prosecute Hillary Clinton, correct?
Yes, he started drafting his statement on May 2nd.
If I had $1 for every lie that Comey said, my lovely wife and I would be sitting in some hammock, sipping on virgin pina coladas, somewhere exotic, like maybe Tahiti.
This dossier was a knowing part of that It was created by Hillary Clinton. It was created knowingly by John Brennan as part of a scheme to do everything they could to harm Donald Trump.
And here's a reminder from a few weeks ago where the Honorable Senator Rand Paul tweeted this: breaking, a high-level source tells me it was Brennan who insisted that the unverified and fake Steele dossier be included in the intelligence report. Brennan should be asked to testify under oath in Congress ASAP. That's right, Brennan and his CIA had their dirty fingers in this fake dossier as well. That's why we're going to hear a lot more about Brennan. And that's probably why we're seeing Brennan totally unhinged, tweeting things like this, which he tweeted out a couple days ago. Just imagine if we had a president who did not live in constant fear of being exposed as a fraud, who did not have to obstruct justice to survive politically, who had the intelligence, integrity, and leadership skills to address America's many important challenges. If there was ever a tweet that was a prime example of projection, John Brennan would have won that award.
The problem for Brennan and Clapper and Comey and Baker and all of them now is that the FISA court has already communicated with the Justice Department about its findings.
What? The DOJ has the findings of the FISA court. Now, of course, if we in the public know about the abuse, it would make sense that the FISA courts would be looking into this. But not only have they been looking into it, they have now turned their findings over to the Department of Justice. Now, why would they do that? Oh yeah, because the Department of Justice can actually indict people.
And their findings are that for more than 4 years before the election of Donald Trump, there was an illegal spying operation going on by FBI contractors, 4 of them, to steal personal information, electronic information about Americans, and to use it against the Republican Party.
I am blown away, folks. Have we heard this before? I've never heard this. I may have missed this story. I'm not infallible. Please put it in the comments below. I never heard anything about 4 specific FBI contractors that were spying on the American people since 2012? About the time that perhaps Barry may have stolen the elections from weak establishment rhino Romney? Interesting. I had never heard this before. When I heard this, I was blown away. If you've heard it and I missed it, folks, it's possible. Please let me know where this was reported or mentioned previously, because I'd like to get more information on it.
There are going to be indictments. There's going to be grand juries. John Brennan isn't going to need 1 lawyer. He's going to need 5.
All right, let's take a pause here and think about this, because this is all within the same sentence or paragraph of diGenova here. There were contractors, FBI contractors, that were spying on Americans specifically to win elections over Republicans that dated back to 2012, and in that same breath, he mentions Brennan. That means that this was some sort of Clowns in America operation hidden through contractors at the FBI to once again probably skirt and circumvent the fact that the Central Intelligence Agency is not supposed to be spying on we the people. Folks, this is stellar information, and I can't wait till we get more details on it. The ramifications are huge. Now, in your gut, you probably already knew this was happening behind the scenes, but now we have this uttered, we have this on video, we have this in public, that when we get the FISA findings, when the DOJ ever does their indictments, unseals their indictments, whenever we get wind of it, we're going to know that behind it, that there was deep state sanctioning of illegal spying against not just President Trump, who at that time was a citizen, but other Americans as well. And don't forget, the administration, especially Barry, were very, very vindictive. They used the IRS, they used the full force of the government against their political opponents. from 2008 to now. We're seeing banana republic tactics. And don't forget that President Trump doubted the origin of the documents having to do with Barry. Wouldn't it be kind of logical to think that Barry probably used his power, or I should say abused his power against then citizen Trump for exposing what a fraud he was? I smell Barry all over this, and I can't wait to find out more.
Robert Ray, let me bring you in on this because you've also served as a federal prosecutor in the Whitewater investigation. Do you have confidence that we're ever going to get to the bottom of this, and by the bottom of it, find out just who was feeding at the bottom of the river here, and that people are going to be held accountable for the violation of civil liberties, for the corruption, the cover-up, and the attempted coup of a sitting elected president?
Thank you, Governor Huckabee. That is the million-dollar question that we all want to know. Is this going to result in punishment? Is this going to result in justice for all these injustices, all this treason, all of this corruption? That's the bottom line we want to know. And I would dare say it's not even a million-dollar question. If we go by the rate that Mueller's team burned through money, this is a $30 million plus question.
The start of getting to the bottom of it is going to be, as expected, the release of the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz's report sometime. I think the Attorney General indicated in either May or June of this year. I think that will have to happen first before the Attorney General then conducts the investigation that he has indicated in testimony before the Congress that he intends to conduct.
Don't worry, for those of you thinking, well, maybe the IG report is not going to find anything and therefore, you know, it's not going to lead anywhere. Let's just go back again real quick in the Scooby time machine and remember what Horowitz has already found and shared with we the public and Congress.
We found that the inappropriate political messages we uncovered cast a cloud over the mid-year investigation, sowed doubt about the credibility of the FBI's handling of it, and impacted the reputation of the FBI.
So, yes, Governor, I do think eventually we will get to the bottom of this.
And not just that we'll get to the bottom of it, but that Bill Barr will take action.
And I frankly, I trust Bill Barr, and he knows both the intelligence community and the Justice Department well enough to understand what is going to be necessary to find out where the truth is.
Wow. Just wow. Bill Barr has his work cut out for him. Not just looking into the shenanigans and the coup d'etat attempt and the traitorous acts within the Federal Bureau of Investigation under Comey and the previous administration. Also their coordination with the Lynch Department of Justice, but also because they've named Brennan treasonous acts at the CIA, and I imagine because of Hillary Clinton being Secretary of State, and perhaps because of Kerry going around undermining our current administration. I imagine that we're going to see other intelligence agencies probably brought into this as well. For instance, the INR. If you're not familiar, that is the State Department's intelligence agency, which is a Bureau of Intelligence and Research. So a lot of intelligence people are going to be swept up in this along with the FBI. And I am hoping that it all will not only not be brushed under the rug, which I don't think it will under Bill Barr, but it'll be made public. That the Mueller report, even though it was unnecessary and should not have been published, but that they will at least follow that template and make their findings public so we the people can know the depths of the deep state and do everything we can in our power to make sure this never happens again so that our children don't have to go through this same battle. Unfortunately, because it gets forgotten every other generation, my grandchildren will probably have to have this battle again.
If this can happen, that people at the highest levels of the Department of Justice and the FBI and the intelligence agencies can use their power as political weapons then none of us are safe. Our processes aren't safe. Frankly, I worry a whole lot less about what the Russians did. What they did was way less of impact than what these federal agencies did, and we as taxpayers paid for it.
The investigation is going to end up being very, very intense. I agree that Attorney General Barr is exactly the right guy to do it. He's got a great sense of justice. And there's nobody that knows much more about the FISA court than Joe DeGenova, who's one of the original lawyers on the FISA court.
And the first one to fall in all of this will be...
There's another report that everybody has forgotten about involving James Comey alone. That will be out in 2 weeks. That report is going to be a bombshell. It's going to open up the investigation on a very high note, and there will be criminal referrals in it. The FISA court abuse is the center of this entire abuse of governmental power. And the chief judge of that court has already ruled that the FBI broke the law and that the people at the head of the Justice Department, Sally Yates, John Carlin, the Assistant Attorney General for the National Security, all knew about it and lied to the court, the FISA court, about it.
Robert, if you were advising Jim Comey, Sally Yates, and some of these other folks that we've heard so much about, would you tell them to lawyer up?
I think, you know, look, that, I mean, not to be funny about it, but I mean, that is an understatement.
Maybe it's because I was born in Harlem and I'm originally a New Yorker that I really enjoy the fact that Giuliani has a sense of humor more than Ray does. But these people are going to have to lawyer up. And talking about up, we have to see where this is going to lead to. How high up does it go? And before I show you these final clips, let me just thank you for being here, my fellow patriots. God bless you. God bless this great republic, the United States of America. God bless our duly elected President, Donald John Trump. And I'm going to play these clips for you. He asked a question about who knew what, and I'm going to give you the answer by going back into the not too long ago vault. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't joined our family. And if you want links to all of the research that I use for this video, please go to bcpextras.com. So let's wrap it up with these final clips.
The point of the investigation, who knew it? When did they know it?
Damaging new text messages surfacing from FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. They suggest possible coordination between the Obama White House, the CIA, and FBI early in the Trump-Russia probe. Names that appear include White House Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough, CIA Chief John Brennan, FBI Director James Comey, and Senator Harry Reid. Page and Strzok apparently attempting to cover their tracks. This text 3 months before the presidential election. Make sure you can lawfully protect what you sign. Just thinking about Congress, FOIA, etc., you probably know better than me. Explain to me how the Strzok-Page messages going backwards and forwards brings President Obama, the Obama name, into play. Go through it for me.
Sure. There's clear evidence in their own language, their own text messages, explaining how they were communicating, coordinating with White House officials. For example, there's a Lisa Page text message that we uncovered a few weeks back that says, quote, POTUS wants to know everything we're doing. That is pretty clear language by anyone's standard. There was direct White House involvement in this, if not coordination. This is the kind of stuff that would make Richard Nixon blush. This is deadly serious stuff,